Dairy farming is not an easy occupation. It's got a lot of challenges. There's a really high demand for good quality people that want to show up to work every day.
We've brought in 3 Filipino staff through CCR. Since they've turned up, they are here every morning on time, if not early.
Dan Hinton and Abby, they've got 3 great staff members on their farm that are really working as a team together, taking a lot of that workload off Dan and Abby to enable them to have a bit more of a balance in their life and enjoy farming as it should be in New Zealand.
They have freed up time for me to spend my energies on making the farm better and to spend more time with my family. They don't take shortcuts, they don't rush to get home. I no longer have to worry whether the cows are going to get milked properly, whether the cows are going to get fed properly. Systems are carried out whether I'm there or not every day without fail.
Good evening, everyone. Once again, this is the virtual coffee house chat brought to you by CC Recruitment. We want to apologize for the first live that we had. We just experienced some technical difficulties, but let us know if the audio is clear. Please comment down. And also, to start with the discussion, we would like to greet first our special guests, Amba, Gary, Domingo, and also Warwick, Ryan, and of course, one of our licensed immigration advisor, Min Marshall. And also, I would like to give the floor to Warwick so we can start straight away, and they will discuss all the topics for regarding the repatriation of Filipino passport renewal, NBI and OEC processing, and other OFW updates. Back to you, Warwick.
All right. Thanks, everyone, and good evening. Thanks for joining us for another Coffee House chat live on Friday the 8th of May. Joining us tonight, we have Min Marshall and our special guest, Ambassador Gary Domingo. A warm welcome to you, and thank you for joining us tonight. Once again, we have many watchers that have queries and questions regarding their well-being that I'm sure they will benefit from your input tonight, so thank you. On this week's update, we want to focus on 3 main areas. Firstly, the dairy staff shortfall. Secondly, some updates regarding the Immigration Amendment Bill. And along with that, regular OFW updates from Ambassador. So looking firstly at the staffing shortfalls. It is estimated that we'll be short about 1,000 staff for the upcoming dairy season in New Zealand. This is mostly made up of 3 things. So firstly, the natural increase in demand for additional staff as cow numbers in New Zealand continue to grow. But secondly, those migrant staff members that have returned home for their holiday and they've been unable to return to New Zealand due to travel restrictions under COVID-19. And then additionally, the migrant employers that are currently in process to join employers in New Zealand that have been held up or not able to arrive as planned for the upcoming season. So in order to limit the exposure to employers, we've been working hard to source and supply additional staff for our clients. These mostly have been coming from people available within New Zealand, those laid off by their employers in other industries that have transferable skills and can assist with employers and meet their needs, as well as those migrants that are here in New Zealand looking at changes. So we've been assisting in those ways. Additionally, we're currently underway with processing visas as far out as 6 months ahead of expiry. So this ensures that employers that have migrant staff are able to retain their current staff. Currently, all offshore offices of Immigration New Zealand remain closed. Immigration New Zealand is not currently processing any applications from people who are offshore unless they meet the strict criteria to grant an exception to the border closure. As of yesterday, there was something around the 6,900 expressions of interest that have been received and processed by Immigration New Zealand for exception to border closure. and 1,437 of those had met the criteria to apply. So this is fairly positive. You can complete a request for travel to New Zealand on the Immigration New Zealand website. Currently, no decisions have been made by the government on when the border restrictions will be lifted. And my last point is, if you're planning to change employer by 1st of June, then you first need to gain approval via the request to vary visa conditions. Link is on the INZ website once again. So that's most of the topics I wanted to cover tonight. I'll be around for questions and answers at the end. So I'll pass you now on to Min Marshall, who will give you a bit more of an update on the Immigration Amendment Bill and the effects that that will have upon our candidates and clients. Thank you.
Min, you're on Min.
Oh my God. Okay. Okay. Good evening, everyone. Like you, I'm looking forward to level 2 next week, hopefully. And so those who are intending to go out and have lunch, make sure that you follow the 3 S's. So I would just want to say a special greetings to the ambassador. Okay. And I just want to add something to the update that Warwick has given you. All offices in New Zealand will open next week with limited staff. And again, with the exception to the border closure, the New Zealand government acknowledges that in extremely limited circumstances where it may be appropriate for a person who is not exempt could travel to New Zealand. So the Immigration New Zealand foresees greater capacity as more staff go back to their offices. As you know, last week, the National Documents Office has reopened, and we have started receiving communications regarding some visa applications. It is slow, but we are really grateful for the progress. So basically, Alert Level 2 will see increase in applications being processed, including additional visa categories and paper applications. So you would have heard that the government has proposed an amendment to immigration law as a response to COVID-19. The current immigration law as it stands is based on individual applications managed on an individual basis. It has very limited ability to deal with visa applicants as a class or groups of people. So last month, as you know, the Prime Minister issued an epidemic management notice already provided for within immigration law. This was introduced in 2006 when there was much lower temporary migrants in New Zealand. This gave the government power to automatically extend temporary visas, you all know this, to the 25th of September to those whose visas were expiring 2nd of April to the 9th of July. So the act as it stands is not fit for purpose, and it cannot cope to deal with right now the 350,000 temporary visa holders in New Zealand. There's also 20,000 skilled migrant category resident visa holders, and between February and April, Immigration New Zealand received 63,000 offshore applications for temporary visas. So this bill aims to ensure that the government can respond appropriately and efficiently to the COVID-19 outbreak by providing additional flexibility in the immigration system. These are time-limited powers. They will be constrained with safeguards and limitations. This gives the government special powers to amend visa conditions for large groups of people, as already mentioned, extend their visas and waive certain regulatory requirements, as well as stop people overseas from making applications while the border is closed. As an immigration advisor who represents and advocates for migrants, my biggest concern is that migrants are disadvantaged as a result of this amendment. This concern had already been voiced by interested parties and stakeholders. And I am sure those affected by this change will have a lot of questions. So at the moment, that amendment is in front of the select committee for consideration. Different sectors have provided their oral submissions, and when it gets its royal assent on the 14th of May, it will become law on the 15th of May. That's all from me, and I'm happy to field questions later on. Thank you.
Thank you for that, Min. And of course, mga ka-CCR, this is the most awaited time of the night as I open the floor to our very special guest. It's the Philippine Ambassador of New Zealand, Cook Island, Fiji, Niue, Samoa, and Tonga. And he's been the ambassador since April 2016. He brings himself with extensive foreign service experience for 30 years. Prior to being the Philippine ambassador to New Zealand, he was Assistant Secretary in the DFA Office of United Nations and International Organization. Without further ado, let's all welcome Ambassador, aka Gary Domingo. Hi, Ambassador, how are you?
Hello, magandang gabi sa inyo lahat, kia ora. So it's great to be here. So thank you very much for this very important program, and thank you to Warwick and to Min for those very important and useful updates. So, ano, Tagalogan ko o English? Anong gusto niyo?
It's up to you, Amba. If you want to speak in Tagalog, it's fine.
Okay. So, well, since we have also Kiwi friends here, maybe just English. Anyways, I'll speak both. Okay, siguro yung mga issue na binato sa akin, or the issues that I've been asked to talk about, are the, I guess, passporting and repatriation and other services like the OEC. Okay, first, ngayon, we expect to be on alert, down to alert level 2, but just in sum, for whatever updates you need to know about embassy services, please check our embassy Facebook, Philippine Embassy in New Zealand, and website. But we're more updated quicker in our Facebook page. Now, once we are confirmed by the government that we are on alert level 2, we will have limited reopening. So we could, okay, it's not 100% sure, because you should check because we also have to check with Manila what we can do and not do. So as of now, Manila is government services basically with regards to passporting, OEC, NBI are closed. So makababayan yung processing natin ng passport, OEC, NBI, tigil muna. But okay, with regards to the embassy, now again, this is just preliminary information. You should check our website and our Facebook page what really will be in black and white, what services will be available again. So makababayan, paki-check lang yung aming Facebook page para siguraduhan natin kung anong talagang mga serbisyo na maibigay, maialok ang embassy. Okay, of course, number one is top of everybody's minds, passporting. Okay, we most probably will reopen for passporting, but as with all offices, we have to observe the 3 S's, and we probably will be on very limited hours. So if ever, most probably, it's strictly by appointment. So you can't just drop, although we'd love to see you, but you can't just drop by the embassy because we will be strict about entrance. You will have to have an appointment. There'll be social distancing. So siguro we'll have a limited number of people that can come, but again, it's strictly through appointment. Now, even if we can accept your applications and renewals, again, processing is still at a standstill in the Philippines. But if you have any particular questions like, your passport is expiring, What can we do? Now, again, we cannot yet, we are not yet, even the passport applications that we had from our previous submissions before are still on hold. So you have to check. Now, there's a possibility we may be able to give extensions, but you have to message us in our Facebook Messenger page about your particular case. So case-to-case basis. Okay, so mga kababayan, tungkol sa passports nyo, paki-message nyo kami sa Facebook Messenger. Di mamin masabi kung tuloy-tuloy pa rin ang well, most likely po, maka-appointment kayo sa embassy for passport processing, renewal, etc. But it's strictly by appointment. But again, tigil muna ang processing sa atin. Okay. Number 2, OEC. Well, again, that's under DOLE PUEA. For now, it's still on hold. Please check the DOLE PUEA websites. And now, as you know, meron na tayong polo. We now have a polo in Wellington. Please also check their page for any updates on the OEC. But for now, it's not moving. Also, the NBI clearances also hold muna. So some of you have heard about the $200 assistance or ACAP assistance for workers who are displaced. So again, there's a process you have to apply. So there's a special Facebook page to check. It's www.facebook.com/USD200NZ. Anyway, the information is on our Facebook page. But basically, there are two main conditions. Is that one, you have to have been relieved from your work, and number two, you had not received any assistance or subsidy. So wage subsidy is counted as assistance. So if your company has received wage subsidy, and again, the idea, pagkaintindi namin, our understanding of wage subsidy, that is to compensate for lost wages, but that long story short, that is considered to be a assistance coming to you. So anyway, if you want to explore that, please check the Polo Wellington Facebook page. And we gave the information to our friends from CCR. We can post it again later. Now on repatriation, well, what the information that we have is that Philippine Airlines will resume regular flights in June. Now, 2 weeks ago, we had a repatriation flight back to the Philippines. We had over 180 people register, but only 60 people showed up. So, ang tanong dyan, or the question is, will we have another repatriation flight? Magkakaroon ba ulit ng repatriation? Well, number one, if you're interested in repatriation, you should register in where the embassy, we have a form, a Google Docs form, and the the link is in our Facebook page, but it is not that easy. Unang-una, yung mga nag-avail ng repatriation flight, most of them were actually tourists or students. Generally, like even in the case of New Zealand citizens coming back to New Zealand, you have to pay. Only in very limited circumstances can we give assistance, but you have to apply. That's not guaranteed. Now, in other countries, you see Philippine government sponsoring repatriation flights, but that's because they had large guaranteed numbers. So we need about at least around 150 confirmed passengers. But it seems that since this is not guaranteed, but it's important that you register. So mahalaga po mag-register kayo sa embassy kung nais nyo ma-repatriate. So but with the reopening of Philippine Airlines in June, it's less likely that will be special repatriation flights for New Zealand. Now, again, at this point, only we had to temporarily stop anyone flying back in, but we are reopening. But there's a limited amount of people, flights. Anyway, any flight has to be strictly coordinated through the Philippine government. So as of now, there doesn't seem to be any. No, there isn't as of now. We have requested for repatriation flights, but again, we have to have your confirmed registrations. Okay, so mahalaga po mag-register po kayo sa site namin. Next is the other issue would be let's see. Okay, I guess that's it for now. Anyway, we can ask more questions later on. So yan muna po. Nandito naman tayo. So kung may ibang tanong, pakitanong lang mamaya. Or again, we can, yeah, I'll be here for any more further questions. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ambassador. So for now, we will open the floor for questions. If you have any immigration matters, just ask us in Tagalog. If you want, it's okay. And then Amba will answer all the questions regarding the Philippine Embassy. So for now, we want to do a shout outs to all our viewers. Hello po sa inyong lahat all over the New Zealand.
Thank you for viewing in. We have viewers from Canada, from Saudi, from Taiwan, Japan, Singapore,
Australia,
and especially Philippines. So ito yung mga kababayan natin na gusto pang pumunta dito sa New Zealand at yung mga currently na nandito na sa New Zealand. Good evening sa inyong lahat. So excited din kami ni Klarence na bababa na yung level alert ng New Zealand to level 2. Kasi as per Klarence, gusto niya mag-malling. Ako din, excited din akong ma-open na ulit yung Summer League ng Waikato Filipino Association.
And guys, please make sure yung mga question po, we will try to answer po. If you have, wag po kayong mahiyang magtanong kung Bisaya or Tagalog, we will just translate. Just make sure po na i-type niyo po sa comment, please like and share this video as well. Shout out po dyan, hello, nagbati yung mama ko sa Pinas. Hello ma, I miss you. And please make sure to grab some coffee. If you have any clients, we acknowledge the presence. Thank you for tuning in with us. And also all the candidates dyan na galing ng work.
To all our essential workers from north of New Zealand down to south. To all our dairy farmers, beekeepers, carpenters, truck drivers, machinery operators, warehouse staff, domestic helpers. We salute you guys. Also, shout out to Arlene and Junard Mayon, to Jonathan and Jess, to the Marquez family in Orini, to Raymond, Joseph, and Charles. Good evening, guys. Thank you for tuning in. So we have one question. Do we want to start with a question?
Yeah, we just want to ask us, Amba, before you have the consular in Taupu, and then a lot of candidates had scheduled there for appointment. Okay. So are we going to resume that on level 2 or we're going to wait for level 1 for it to be normal? Thank you.
Okay, yeah. Thank you. Salamat sa tanong tungkol sa passport. Siguro meron kaming nakaschedule na tinatawag naming mobile or pumupunta kami sa iba-ibang bayan, iba-ibang distrito sa New Zealand, pati sa Pacific Island countries. So yes, we had schedules, but we had to stop the schedule of mobiles outside Wellington because of alert level 4 and alert level 3. Now the question is, okay, so passporting is done in 2 places, so in the embassy in Wellington and the mobiles. Okay, again, if we go to alert level 4, we will have limit. Okay, long story short, sa madaling salita, magkakaroon uli ng passporting, kaya lang observing the 3 S's, so strictly by appointment. So we will so that's when we go on level 2. But the question is, will we continue the mobiles? I think we had scheduled in Queenstown, in Auckland, etc., etc. Unfortunately, now this is the effect of COVID-19. We just this week we were instructed all embassies around the world had to slash their budgets by 45%. That means we don't have a budget anymore to do mobiles for the next coming months. So unfortunately, for now, there is no more mobile passporting. It will all be done through Wellington. But to remedy that, we are looking at also opening on some weekends. Okay, so kababayan, pasensya lang po, nakat yung aming budget. So wala na kaming budget pampuntang mobile for the next, siguro hanggang 3rd quarter. Baka sa 4th quarter or maybe in the 4th quarter, we might start it depending on our financial situation. And because nga, gipit na gipit ang budget ng Philippines, the Philippine government budget has prioritized emergency assistance for the victims of COVID, for recovery, for testing. You know, and it's not cheap to operate an embassy. So pasensya lang po, we ask for your understanding that we probably will not have, well, we were not, definitely next few months, no more mobiles just in Wellington. Now, those passports that have been submitted, unfortunately, it's still on hold because passporting processing has stopped in the Philippines. So, mga kababayan, kayo nag-apply dati sa mga mobile namin o sa embassy at hindi nyo po natanggap ang passport, pasensya lang po, naka-hold muna dahil tigil muna ang pagtrabaho sa passport sa Pinas. Okay.
Thank you very much for that answer, Amba. So right now we also have a question from Warwick.
Yeah, so just on the basis of passport renewals, we also have a lot of offshore candidates that are wanting to get MBIs, or even people in New Zealand that are waiting on MBIs as well to enable them to process their renewal of their visas. Is there, under lockdown changes and assuming that Manila or the Philippines goes to eases their lockdown come middle of May, will the possibilities of obtaining MBIs once government departments start operating again be processing or happening in the near future?
Well, we really thank you, Warwick, for that question. Well, you know, NBI is completely out of our hands. It's with the NBI. We're just like literally like a post office box. So it really depends on Manila. So as of now, no. Even so, we have to wait for Manila, and yes, at the earliest, it would be sometime. Well, again, we just have to wait and see when NBI does reopen again. But as soon as we do, we'll post it on our Facebook page and our website. But for now, no. Even if we go back on alert level 2, that's New Zealand. We have to wait for what happens in Manila.
That's right. Yeah. So same with passports, I suppose. You know, you can do what you can do here, but we are dependent on Manila and what happens over there in terms of their lockdown as well. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Thank you so much for that. What do you think about that, Min? Do you have any question to Amba as well?
I just want to say that I have a client, CCR client, who sent me an electronic official receipt dated the 4th of May. So I kind of assumed that maybe you can go online and then put your application through. This was sent by Kenneth Warwick. So I just gave it to Immigration New Zealand, obviously. So I did wonder whether the NBI online is now open.
Okay. Well, again, you'll have to check with them.
Yeah, sure.
Well, that would be great. So that's great to know if indeed they are resumed. Okay, thank you. At least online.
We also have, thank you for that answer. We also have one question from Terso Manalo. saying that his passport is expiring this coming June. So he will go to the same process wherein he will need to go to the website, to the Facebook page for him to apply online.
Yeah, check our updates po. Paki-check lang po sa Facebook namin anong magagawa tungkol sa mga renewals, especially yung expiring, ganon. So yeah, so just please check with our Facebook page website or message us on our Facebook Messenger that's in our website, in our Facebook page.
Okay, thank you so much. Ms. Min, we have a question regarding stand down. This is asked by one of our candidates. They're asking if this is still existing or is it going to happen soon?
From Jerry Flores.
Okay. That policy is status quo. There hasn't been any update, I guess, because of the current situation. It's kind of the list of their priorities. So we don't know at this stage.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much for that. We have another question from...
Yeah, while Klarence are chewing on the questions there, want to say hi to all the viewers of part of the Waikato Filipino Association, also to the Manawatu Filipino Farmers Association, and also to the members of Morrinsville Filipino Farmers Cup. Good evening to you guys.
Okay, so we have one question from Pamela Carrido. Hello CCR team. Pag nasa New Zealand ka na po ba, lilipat ng employer or magre-renew ng visa, mga ilang weeks po ang processing ng approval? Thank you so much.
Yes, Ismin, can you answer that?
Okay, is this an offshore applicant? Do you know?
Just a second. She didn't mention.
Okay.
But I think she's...
no, it's already onshore.
Yeah, onshore.
Onshore. Okay. Onshore, yeah, we don't know. If it is a paper-based application, Immigration New Zealand is currently not doing that at the moment. But if it's online, we can only guess when that's going to happen, because we're hoping that there will be increased capacity from level 2. So if it is, they should contact CCR, because if it is an urgent and it needs to, and if we need to request an escalation, then we can do that. But as far as time frame, we don't know.
Thank you, Ms. Min. So there's a question regarding this immigration amendment bill. They're saying that if it's possible for those visa holders stuck in the Philippines to come back in New Zealand, would there be a chance that their visa will be extended?
It is part of the, I'll just go to the proposed powers of the government. Okay, so the number 3 proposal is the power to extend the expiry dates of visas for classes of people by special direction. So basically, if we have those who are visa holders who are currently overseas, this is one of those powers that the ministry or the minister or the government can do to extend it. So some of them may get a 3-year, you're given 3 months, 3 months to come to New Zealand. They will then have the power to extend it, instead of the previous advice, which was advisory, which was that you need to reapply or you need to apply for a new visa, whatever that visa is going to be. So we will know the details on the 15th if this goes through.
Thank you.
All right.
Yeah, so
And
just,
another...
just for the viewers at the moment, as each week passes, we're getting more information and more updates. And I suppose our way of informing is to try to keep everybody updated on our posts as well as these chats. So there's still a lot of questions out there that are unanswered, and there's still a lot of things that we don't even know the determination from Immigration New Zealand or different government departments. And yeah, appreciate Min and Ambassador Gary for joining us tonight just to give us updates that are happening in their environment. Right now, we're happy to take questions, and we can attempt to give answers over the coming weeks for any certain questions that we're unable to answer at this stage. And I'd appreciate if both Ambassador and Min could respond to some of the Facebook queries that we are getting. If we're not able to give the actual answers today, over the coming weeks, we should be able to get back to those people and answer them on the various matters that are popping up. So we can give you as much information as possible as we know right now. There's going to be a lot of questions that we can't answer today just because the decisions haven't been made by the larger bodies that we depend on. So for tonight, we're given as much information as we can, and we'll continue to take those questions and attempt to answer them. But yeah, if there's any more questions that we can attempt to answer tonight, we're happy to take them.
Yeah, thank you for that, Warwick. So there's one question here, J. Lobon Cabezas. So, Min, are they able to still lodge the visa even if the passport is expired?
Yes, I have done that. It is actually, yeah, we can do that. We can do that. All right.
Thank you. Yeah.
Guys, don't forget to share this live video, because again, we will be picking winners. We will raffle them tonight. So we have giveaways, the caps and the beanies. So for last week's winners, we have 11 winners. We have Gideon Dolera, Alexander Palanganan, Rick Tolentino, Medel de la Cruz, Loint Jen Baclayon, Roderick Julian, Baning Reynos, Mark Remoto, Rafael Belungay, Joseph Jeronimo, and Jonathan Galang. Congratulations to all of you guys. You will receive the items in the post soon. One question by Willie Fego from the Philippines. So he said that his visa is already lodged, but due to the time frame of processing the visa, he is well aware that his medical is already expired. So what will happen to his application? Can you answer that, Min?
If he has lodged his visa application, then he shouldn't worry about his medical. Yeah. Okay. And if it hasn't been lodged, then he can still submit that medical, and we will do. Normally, CCR writes, get the client to write a waiver and undertaking. So if it's been lodged, there's no problem. If he hasn't lodged it, we can still apply.
Okay, that's good to know. Thank you for that answer.
So before we end the live, do you want to add something, Warwick?
Yeah, I was just I thought Ambassador would be able to give us a bit of an update if he has any information on things that are occurring in the Philippines and how things have occurred over there in terms of updates on what's happening in the Philippines, so that we can inform our viewers here.
Okay. Well, things are very fluid in the Philippines at the moment. So I just better maybe just refer you to our our consolidated website on the latest developments. So that is covid19.gov.ph. So probably it's best to just click on that for the latest updates on COVID. We see that well, there have been very many promising signs that I do believe, though it's still challenging. There's still we still get more cases and more deaths, but I think we see an overall flattening, though it's not as, of course, as comprehensive as in the case of New Zealand. But there's cause for optimism. But in any case, just please check the website covid19.gov.ph for the latest from the Philippines side.
Very good. Thank you for that.
Yeah, thank you for that. Amba, do you want to add anything, Min?
Okay.
Or I just. Sorry.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Go on, Ambassador. Yeah.
Well, So mga kababayan, our dear friends, just please check our Facebook page for updates on any issues that with regard to our services and what's going on. So that's yeah, just go in Facebook Philippine Embassy in New Zealand. And thank you for this opportunity to meet with all of you. And I look forward to actually more dialogues like this. So sa mga kababayan, sa ulitin po. Let's and keep safe, stay strong. Kiakaha, God bless.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Would you like to add?
I just want to thank again the team, Warwick's team, for this evening. I want to thank those who have tuned in. In particular, just want to mention some names. Our friends in Bukidnon, Philippines, Dr. Jonas Sali, Ria Ulili. And in New Zealand, we've got Jiver, Adonis, Jambray, Kent, Roderick. Some of these are CCR clients, Mary Grace, Arnell. Jonathan Rivera from Bukidnon, he asked a question, but I think he may be, I will ask him to send the question directly to me. We've got Jonathan Venus who emailed me today. I know that you're waiting, Jonathan, so just be patient. I've seen J. Mark, Christian, Lawrence. Lovely to see all of you. And it's lovely to see Ambassador. Thank you.
Thank you very much. For the delay earlier, we're very sorry for the first part of the live. We're very sorry for that.
But anyway, this video will be uploaded on our Facebook, and also we have our official YouTube channel, so you can just like and subscribe there. You can see all the updates there. And yeah, for those questions who are unanswered, we will try to answer it. And for those who shared this live, we will give you giveaways as well. Anything you want to add, Warwick?
Yeah, and just lastly from me, thanks to everyone again. An important update for our clients and candidates. Special thank you to you, Ambassador Gary, for joining us tonight. And yes, we'll continue to share any updates from the Philippine Embassy on our webpage so that people can have access to that whenever they need. And yeah, just for everyone out there, stay safe, abide by the rules. We're almost there. Level 2 is not far away, hopefully. So let's just hang in there, and we'll catch up with you all again next week. Thanks, everybody. Thanks, Min, also. Appreciate your input.
Thank you.
Thank you. And once again, this is the virtual coffee house chat of CC Recruitment. Thank you so much, guys, and see you on next Friday. Bye.
Thank you for viewing.
Thanks,
My
guys.
love in Singapore. Thank you for viewing.
Whoa.
And
Bye, guys.
all the guys in the Philippines, don't lose hope. We will brave this, and soon your dream to come to New Zealand will be achieved. So
Shout out to all the viewers. Thank you, guys.
Thank you very
Apologize for the
much.
delay. Thank you.
Thank
God
Have
you.
a
bless.
good night.
God bless.
Bye.
Bye.